basically this is the sort of a demo pre-product launch, and then so everyone can just go to this website app Heiko.parallel.fi. And then so first of all, like we have 7 products in total, right? I'm gonna show you a couple. This is the overview of all of the assets that you have. So obviously you can get the money from this crushing protocol from Heiko from Kusama to Heiko, to transfer some Kusama to here to get star. And then some of the users through Crowdloan, you have Heiko, you should be able to see it. And then you will have other stuff like LP tokens or maybe C tokens, and you can send people money through this. So let's see, first of all, like how do I have a little bit of money from here, right? So let's go to do like the question first, right? So on my Kusama chain, I have very little, so I probably gonna show you guys like how to transfer back, right? Let's say that I have like 8 in the system. Let me transfer all of them outside the Heiko to then I just send a transaction back, and you can see that immediately my balance decreased. And then so I think the money should be taking a little bit time, will be on Kusama side. And then if you want to transfer back, you can transfer back. So that's kind of a cross-chain functions that we have between Kusama and Heiko. Afterward, we will build a protocol where you can transfer money from ETH toward Heiko as well, right? So things like USDT, USDC, and other assets. And then we have finished this app, but we wanted to test really well until we really send it out. And then people can connect with their MetaMask wallets. So basically, if you swap your wallet to this Raspberry network, this is a testnet, by the way. This is not a real network. This is actually a test network. Then you can actually transfer from ETH to Parallel protocol of some specific asset. Currently, I think I have to see some Raspberry network. I can transfer that back, or I can transfer that in. So this is kind of how that works. So for example, I want to transfer 2,000. 2,000, then I can transfer from Parallel back to Ethereum for the USDT assets. This is on a testnet. We haven't launched that, but let's go back to the Heiko network, products. So let's continue with the overview page, right? So now let me first transfer the 8 Kusama back to get started, and then this gas fee is actually the XCM fees. It's very low. We don't charge any fees in between. And then, so the next thing that you can do on our platform is liquid staking. So this is a very promising application that we're building for a while. Effectively, everyone know how complicated it is to really stake anything on Polkadot. You have to select have to nominate a validator. You have to sort of actively manage it in order to maximize the return. For us, we have algorithm to help you choose the validator. And then we also make the UI UX super simple. So if you want, you can just stake all of that. Let's say that I wanted to stake 0.1. I can stake 0.1, but then I think on Kusama and Polkadot, there is a minimum stake. Now we actually make it smaller. Let's say I want to stake 1.5, whatever amounts. And then notice that there is a exchange rate, right? Kusama and X Kusama, we just changed the name. This number is a little bit smaller than 1 because X Kusama is a little bit more valuable than Kusama over time because you accrue more interest. So if you put 1.5 Kusama into it, you get 1.4942 as Kusama first. Once the exchange rate go up over time, you earn more money. So let me give you that example. And then the staking fee is very little. It's almost less than basis point levels. The reason there is a small staking fee, first is because the XCM, there is a fee that we have to pay from the protocol level. The other one is a reserve factor. And then the reason that we have that is because if people keep on stake and unstake, they may be able to sort of getting additional rewards. So we charge the fee to avoid this potential issues. And then, so let me give examples here. So now I want to stake that 1.5-ish Kusama to the system to start to earn yield. And then on the bottom, you can see it, like some Q&As, FAQs. Like how does the reward you should build, and how long does the unstake take, and things like that. And then what are some risks of the liquid staking protocols? And then now you can see that my balance decreased by 1.5. I have around 1.49 as Kusama. This is already on chain. It's staked onto the system. If you want, you can actually unstake that as well, right? You have to wait for 7 days. So let me give you examples. If I want to unstake one of them, then I can unstake, but then I have to wait for 7 days. And then let's say I put like 1. I can mint around 1.0003 because the exchange ratio, as I mentioned, X Kusama and Kusama is a little bit higher, and you will increase over time. And then this is the previous pending unstake that I have. If I unstake again, right, then I will, let's use a smaller amount because I need to give some other demos as well, 0.2. Then you'll be able to see another like pending unstake afterwards in the table, and then you have to wait for 7 days. However, the good news is that if you actually want to unstake right away, you can go to swap, which is our AMM, and then you connect your wallets. And then now you can literally just sell your Kusama to your X Kusama to Kusama and do that. And then so I can give you guys an example. So currently we have a little bit issue with this new app with the logo, but we're going to fix it. So remember I have 1.29 in the system previously from the staking protocol. And then if I wanted to unstake it right away, what I can do is I can just, sort of sell it, right? Sell it to the AML. Let's say I want to sell 0.1. Then I get this amount immediately, right? There will be a transaction fees, and there will be a LP and price impact and things like that. You can also configure what is the slippage that you wanted to set up. And then the transaction fee is in terms of X Kusama. That's where the LPs are charging, right? LPs are charging this, basis point, 30 basis points as an LP. So I can swap right now. And after I swap, I will swap this 0.1 to some more Kusama, right? And then I think after 6-ish seconds, you will see the balance decrease. Then you actually literally swap to the Kusama. And then, so that solved the early unstake issue. So if you don't want to wait, you can just, sort of dump on the markets. And then also, if someone dump really impact the price, right, exchange rate, you can do the arbitrage, you can actually buy back. So transactions succeed. I have a little bit less, and now, I can do the opposite trading as well. And then I can also trade Heiko with Kusama. For example, I wanted to buy some Heiko with Kusama. I can spend some money here. Let's say I spend 1 Kusama. I mean, this is the current ratio. And then this is all real money. So I'm just, going to do that live right now. You can swap one of them to Heiko. And then if you want, you can technically swap other tokens when we have, right? For example, the Glimmer tokens, ACA tokens, and all of the parachains that we will work with. So this is the place where you can swap essentially anything that's in the Polkadot ecosystem going forward. On the other hand, as an AMM, right, you can also be a LP. So you can provide additional liquidity to the system. So what you can do is you can go to the liquidity page and you can add liquidity. Let's say that I want to add 1 Kusama plus 500 Heiko to be the LP. Then I receive 22 LP tokens. And then what is the ratio that I'm doing? Share of the pool, 1%, slippage, and things like that. And then you can obviously configure that thing. And then afterwards, you can then, sort of add the liquidity afterwards. And then after adding the liquidity, you should be able to receive the LP tokens. So this transaction is still processing. We're still waiting the Kusama. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer time. So give it a second. We'll see. Then while we're waiting, I'm going to go back to this page to introduce a little bit about money markets. Notice that we will have a pretty big update in terms of our new UI for the money markets. What end up happening is that you can actually stake, you can actually supply your staked assets into the system, and then you can borrow additional capital. So this is called like leverage staking. So so far, I think I have 6.2 Kusama. I have 1.19. So what I can do is I can basically supply all of my S Kusama into the money market. So I supply, let's say, all of them. And then I can definitely increase my borrow limit from $300 to $400. And then I just apply that to the system. And then afterwards, what I can do is I can use S Kusama as the collateral to borrow additional Kusama. And then I can restake the money. So you see, I just, put all of the Kusama into the money market. And now what I can do is I can actually borrow a lot of money. And let's take a look at what is the borrow rate for Kusama right now. Right now, the Kusama borrow rate is actually it's actually around 3%. So if you can borrow money at 3% and then, stake at 17%, you make the arbitrage basically. So effectively, if you keep on repeating the process, user can earn way higher staking returns. So that's one of the really big innovations that we have. So let's say I borrow like 2.7, or I don't know, like let me borrow like 2.5. And then this is a pretty high borrow limits, but it's fine. I can go for it. And then so I have 450 borrow limits, and now I just borrowed another couple Kusama on my wallet. So if you go to your wallet, right, you borrow a bunch of new Kusama. You can either, if you do cross-chain, you can really just transfer that 9 Kusama out to your Kusama relay chain if you want. You can transfer out. If you don't want to, if you want to restake, you can actually restake that 9. Let's say I want to restake 5 of that to X Kusama. And then after staking that, right, I can just repeat the process, right? I can supply some additional X Kusama to here, and then use that Cloud and borrow again, and I can restake. So in the end, I'm gonna have so many additional X. You see, I just staked, and I can just supply all of that into the system, and then borrow it again, and then repeat the process. So that in the end, you have way higher X Kusama exposure, which give you much higher return, and then you're just paying around, sort of, but obviously the market is small right now. So the supply market size is only, $1,000. So when I borrow a lot of money, the borrow rate is going to go up, right? But it still is profitable. When you borrow at 5%, you earn 17%. That's perfect. So I can keep on borrowing this process, and then I can borrow more. Right now, because I supply, I have another $300. So I can repeat the process. And then another really good thing is that I think someone is probably swapping. That's why it didn't go through for this transaction. So I can make the slippage a little bit higher. For example, I can do like 0.5, because the slippage protection is protect when other people are swapping, and you can do that. You can also add liquidity. So far I don't have this Kusama to Heiko liquidity. Now let me add a little bit to the system, and then after the transaction succeed, and then I'm gonna show something else. That's the money market staking and swapping. And let's quickly talk about the Crowdloan. So we are going to have a Kusama-based decentralized Crowdloan, which is very similar to the product that you have been using right now. But then the main difference is that, first of all, it's on Kusama. Second of all, it provides really awesome return in terms of Heiko. And number 3, it's completely decentralized, and then all of the processes are on-chain. And this is really, I think, a big milestone for us. And then because Kusama's XCM is ready, we can launch that. Whenever Polkadot XCM is ready, then we'll launch the Crowdloan product on Polkadot as well. And then so afterwards, you'll receive C Kusama, and then you use the C Kusama to do additional stuff, right? For example, you can put a C Kusama into lend and borrow to borrow more Kusama to recontribute to the Crowdloan. That way you don't have to you can actually contribute on a margin, right? You don't have to contribute the whole amount to support a project. You can repeat the process that I just showed you, very similar, to earn a lot more project rewards. And then after I provide this liquidity to the Heiko and Kusama as an LP, then what you can do is you can either withdraw the money, you can withdraw all of that back to Kusama and Heiko, or you can actually add more if you want to the system. If you add more, then you add more. And then go back to the overview, right? So I think people just see that I just have additional LP tokens. In the future, those LP tokens are also collateral on the money market. So you can do additional composability on top of each other. And if you want to send to someone else, right? If you want to send to your friends, you can send the token to your friends as well, or whatever address that you have. And then what else? One more thing probably I want to share is, give me 1 sec to load up the farming palettes. 1 sec. So that's another place where you can earn a bunch of additional Heiko rewards. Okay, let me share screen again. So this is the farming. We haven't launched that yet, but I think today, tomorrow we'll launch it. So you can see that we can create a lot of pools, right? Kusama pools, Heiko pools, or LP pools, what have you. And you will see total rewards, right? We can provide any type of reward, right? It can be a Kusama reward, it can be a Heiko rewards, And then you can see the TBLs and then the time left, right? This is the end date of the farm. Let's say that in my sort of, this is a development account, right? I have like 0.05 Heiko, right? Let's say that I want to do some farms. So what I can do is I can choose a specific farm that I want. I say I want to enter this specific farm or one. Then let me get it in. I can see it's almost zero because it's so little. So it's kind of like zero, but it's actually not zero. And then I'm gonna do that. And if you see like my position, you can see that previously I deposited 0.28, right, Heiko, and then I'm earning it. If you wanted to get out of the pool, you can just withdraw all of the money. There is a 1 minute cooldown. So let's say I want to withdraw all of that, and then I can withdraw, and then it's gonna kick out the cooldown period. And then if I want, I can also claim my rewards. I have a very little reward because how much I am like doing the farm. But if I have other tokens, let's say that if I have Kusama tokens and other LP tokens, then you can potentially have a lot more return if there's no people doing the farming, and then there's a lot of rewards. And then the system is designed flexible enough that anyone can drop some rewards. So if you want to use Kusama as a reward, go for it. If you want to use, let's say, I don't know, like Glimmer token as a reward, go for it. So this is kind of like a super flexible balance to make that happen. So after minutes, then you should be able to redeem all of that. And obviously you can also claim that little bit rewards that you have. Let me just claim that as well to make sure that I get this. So this is on a testing environment. That's why you see there's fake tokens right here. But once everything testing is done, then we merge to like the Heiko side. So yeah, so that's the current progress on the Heiko side with a really simple demo. Notice that this is real products. This is, you can come in and come out, and you can start to earn yields through staking, lending, borrowing and stuff. And you can also trade, but this is not fully launched. We're just sort of releasing it, and then still sort of in a beta period. And then I think after a little bit time, and then, everything will be running pretty smooth. And also we set a cap of how much money can be put into the money markets. The reason that we only have like 1,000-ish is really because we actually set a cap. And then we also set a cap for staking for now, just to make sure that the protocol runs pretty smooth and securities are good. And then we will cancel the cap or raise the cap to a higher amount so people can stake more. So yeah, I think that's about it. Let me know.
Awesome, Yibo.
It's in between.
This was awesome. I think I have a feeling that our users our community rather has to be pleased with this. This is super informative. The room has been full the entire time. Yeah, this is great. So when can people start to interact with this? Did you share that?
This is live on Heiko. And then awesome. People have to use Heiko as a transaction fee to play. Everything is real. When you stake and unstake, you're making the real Kusama money. And then you can borrow and lend. If you borrow some money, you can actually take it away as well. You can just do the crushing and take it away. This crushing function is the points where you wanted to transfer money out. Go for it. You can transfer all of that out to your wallets, right? To actual like Kusama wallet. If you want to transfer it and then start to use it. So far, we support like Kusama and Heiko and then 2 LP tokens to get started. But then after the Crowdloan launch, you have C Kusama. You see, I just transferred the Kusama out to my Kusama wallet, I believe. And then what else? We're fixing the pricing. LP token actually have a price. We're fixing the pricing. Heiko will fix the price as well because supposedly it should have a price already on the AMM, but it's really just on the early stage. So yeah, feel free to play around and then feel free to swap if you want to trade anything. And then the liquidity is not deep because we're just testing it right now at this moment. But yeah, I think we have a bunch of new stuff launching, and then we have a bunch of analytics so people can see how many people are using the protocol and things like that. But yeah, it's doable right now. And then we're fixing some small bugs like this logo stuff and things like this. But yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Yubo. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know that we're at the top of the hour, and I'm sure you've got lots to do with it being a week of product, heavy product work. For everyone listening, thank you so much for joining. We will have a recap of this community call live very shortly. We'll also have a copy of this demo that Yubo just did for people who weren't able to view or joined late to be able to watch the whole demo again. Really exciting week. Really looking forward to what's to come for Parallel. We'll see you guys at the next community call.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.